You're watching The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV Angela Yee, Charlamagne the God. We are The Breakfast Club. We got a special guest in the building.
Yes, sir.
You might not know who he is without Jerry Curls.
That's not true.
Jason Mitchell, good
You
morning.
did. What's happening, man? How you feel?
Jason, what's happening, my brother?
He played
Man.
Easy E and Straight Outta Compton. That's why I said the whole Jerry Curls thing.
Yes,
And then he was
yeah.
in Mudbound.
He was in
Yes, sir.
Mudbound as well.
I mean, he's been in a lot of stuff, but Jason Mitchell has almost made me cry twice.
Oh, man, almost.
Almost.
If you cry, it's cool.
I haven't gotten there yet, but I felt it, though. You know what I'm saying? I was like, but you did make my homeboy drop a tip.
Yeah?
Yes.
Was it a homeboy or you?
See, he was watching his own boy.
was
That's how you know
wax.
I'm going to look away.
It was Wax. We went, you don't know Wax, but we was in L.A.
The big, strong diesel guy out there with the
with the
dreads.
dreads.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
There's a big
We was in L.A.
All right, mission accomplished.
watching the Straight Outta Compton, and it's like when you found out you had AIDS,
Yeah.
the
In the
whole
movie.
theater went silent,
It
right?
did.
And then you started crying, and all I heard my homeboy say was, "Yikes!" and I looked over, his eyes were watering.
That
Right?
means a touch tone. That means he was
Hey,
playing with
man.
some
Hey,
dirt buckets.
man.
on
Now,
there.
let me
That's
read
lit,
you
man.
these text messages that happened between us yesterday, right? 'Cause,
Okay.
Now, first of all, thank you. I never did this before, but it worked out. I did shoot my shot
Yeah.
on Twitter.
This sounds so
I watched
crazy
I
right
watched
now.
The Shy, the first 2 episodes. It was so great, and I tweeted about it.
Yeah.
And then somehow, I guess, I hashtagged it, you retweeted it, and I was
Yeah.
like, you should come to the Breakfast Club. I never really do that, but it worked out. So here you are.
Yeah,
So-
man, I'm in the building because I was like, if I could do anything in the world, I got to do Breakfast Club. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like you really not popping until you do the Breakfast Club. So I'm like, man, it's too easy.
So
I'm
these
there.
text messages yesterday, right? We were going back and forth about the time, whatever, and Charlamagne says, "I love him."
Charlamagne on the table and said, "I love him."
For no reason.
For no
Hey,
reason.
nowhere.
I like your acting. I love his acting.
I love people who speak their mind.
And then,
You feel me?
I
So-
was a kid. I responded, I'm telling wifey that you love her.
And I didn't reply back. I was like, "Ain't so freaking childish." You know what I'm saying?
But it was just, I was like, okay, so 9 a.m. and then he has other press to do or whatever, and Charlamagne just goes, "I love him."
I love her. I love that.
No, that's not what
lit.
happened. You was like, "Yo,
It's
Jason
right
Mitchell wants to come on the show tomorrow. Is that cool?" I said, "I love him. Yeah,
He said yes. All he said was, I love him.
he's dope."
With a heart emoji.
If you've seen his acting, you know what I'm talking about.
It's
though.
all
And then he
good.
did this.
I did not do that. I was a goddamn lie. Stop it.
Oh, man, it's too funny.
Now, what made you get into acting?
Man, just trying to find new friends. You know what I mean? Because I come from like the real hood, not the rap hood. You know
Where
what I
at?
mean? And I'm from New Orleans, Louisiana. I'm from
Okay.
Holly Grove. Me and Wayne grew up right around the corner from each other.
Okay.
Shout out to Jay Jones. He a young cat working from back there too. And I lost my best friend at 22 years old, and I didn't go to college because Katrina hit, right after the storm or whatever. I was just like kind of scrambling, and just trying to get some money. That's all I could think about was money, And my best friend gets killed, and then I was like, maybe I should just find some new friends. You know what I mean? Maybe I should just start there. Yeah, so I went to like this random acting workshop. It was only like 8 weeks, and it was just passing through New Orleans. And my friend was like, man, you should go. And I'm like, yeah, okay, acting.
That's like
Here
one
we
of
go.
the kids from The Shy.
Right, exactly, same deal. So he asked me like a week later, like, whatever happened to you going to the class, blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, I was driving. I ain't had time to write the number down. He just remembered the number off the top of his head. I'm like, man, I'm going to take this as a sign from God. So I went down there in like a 3-piece suit, and I was terrible. You know what I mean? But the lady was like, it's just something about you. Like, like if you stick with this, you might have some juice, So I'm like, all right. So maybe 5 or 6 weeks into it, they had an agent. Shout out to Tasha Smith. She came and checked me out.
wow,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. She came and checked me out, and it was on from there.
Really?
It was just on from
That's
there.
so
dog.
dope
Yeah.
that somebody, when you went to your audition, even though you weren't good, she saw something in you and she
Right.
told you that, because if she would have just been like, nah, it's not for you.
right, exactly.
It shows
yeah.
you how important it is to tell people when you see a little light, and it's up to you after that to figure out how you can nurture it.
Exactly. That's why I'm glad I get to represent that. You know what I mean? Because so many people saw me. They saw my faults. They saw my ups, my downs. So, they could see me and be like, damn, he could do it, I could do it.
So, so what were you doing prior to you getting in acting classes? 'Cause you say your friend got killed. Were you in the street? Like,
Yeah. I was doing my thing. But you know how it is.
selling
It's like,
drugs, using them, because that is New Orleans. Heroin big out there now. Them boys doing heroin at a young age.
I'm not touching no dog food, man. Never sold it. I don't like that. I don't even like the clientele. But it was a thing for me where I was like, I was just over it. You know what I mean? I caught a couple of charges, and like I said, people was dying, and it was getting a little too serious. You know what
realize
I mean?
in order to change your life, you got to change your lifestyle.
Exactly.
Now, how'd you get straight out of Compton? Walk us through that.
Wow. Okay, so at first it started off really like protocol. They sent it to my email, and they was like, this is something you really could get. So I asked the question that everybody else asked, like, this a VH1 movie? It's going to be. You know what I mean? And they was like, nah, Universal doing this. And I'm like, what? Okay,
who's
say
they
less.
When you say they sent it, it's
like just the casting company, because they send it through like, your agent or whatever. So by the time it get to me, it just be like sides for the script or whatever, so I can go do my little audition. So I put it on tape, knock it out. And it was crazy because the lady who put me on tape, her name is Megan Lewis. And this lady's like, I don't know if y'all know anything about white folks from Boston.
No.
But
I mean,
she-
yeah,
we
they're
definitely
really
do.
white.
Shout out to
Yeah.
Jammin'
And
94.5.
the whitest of the white.
And very serious.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So she would, like, I never booked with her, and I probably read with her maybe 15 times and just never booked with her. So she was doing this thing with her head, like saying yes and no at the same time. Right? So I'm like, what's going on? And I was like, was it bad? She was like, no. She double high-fived me, walked me to my car. I'm like, this is not the Megan I remember. You know what I mean?
Right.
So,
Fucking awesome, Jason.
Exactly. Like, Jason is so good. It was so good. She called my agent right after, like, I think he has a chance. It's going to be so good. She was about to cry. I'm like, Lord. So, maybe, and they ain't called me till like a month and a half later. I'm totally forgot about
Right,
this.
I
I'm
didn't
like
get it.
cooking. Because I got a cooking job and like an oyster shucking job.
Oh, so you
just
really
to
do
stay out
cook?
the
That's
way.
you.
Yeah.
In
Okay, 'cause on the
show,
shy, you
This
cook.
is
Yeah,
crazy.
So I was, trying to stay out the way. And they called me up. They like, yeah, they want you to fly to LA tomorrow. And I'm like, well, see, the way my bank account and my life and my probation and everything set up, I can't just leave. You know what I mean? Like, I need
My probation and
yeah,
bank account
like,
set up.
yeah, I had things going on in my life, So they was like, say less, So they called me back maybe in like 30 minutes and was like, Gary wants to Skype it with you. Have Gary Gray, the director. So I'm like, all right, cool. So, I hardwire everything. I set it up. I'm like, look, satellite dish on top of the crib. Please don't skip. You know what I mean? So, yeah, man, like, I ain't even gonna lie and pretend like I don't know how long it was. It was an hour and 17 minutes. We sat there and
Wow. You did
Skyped.
the whole movie.
Right, exactly. You know what I mean? We did these same 5 scenes just back to back, just running through them. And what I really remember is like I did the hospital scenes, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like crying, and he
You're a
telling
great
me,
crier, by the way. We'll get to that.
Thank you. He was like, just breathe. So I'm like, okay. I'm trying to relax, but then the butterflies are like leaving my stomach. You know what I mean? Because I'm like, it's over now, And then I just bust out laughing. And then I could hear a bunch of voices because all I could see is his face on Skype and he going back and forth like. And I'm like, who else is in this room with you? You know what I mean? I can hear all these voices and it was like, he good, right? He good. And then I booked it right over Skype just like
Wow,
that.
that's
Yep.
amazing.
Had never been to California in my life.
Did you know anything about NWA and Eazy-E?
I did, because
Okay.
I grew up on Bone Thugs, and of course, Ice Cube, he got to be in everybody top 10 at least.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know what I mean? So, No Vaseline was like a big part of my life. You know what I mean? So,
Whoa, we're going to edit that part.
All right.
We're going to edit that one part.
I'm a younger dude. You know what I mean? So when that beef record hit, I was like, whoa, okay. You know what I
That's
mean?
harsh.
So everybody, exactly. If you didn't know, now you know. So
So
yeah,
why
I grew up
why
on
were
it.
you on probation?
Man,
What happened was.
Come on, tell us the story.
I just got caught up,
What you was-
drug possession.
Drug possession? What, you was selling?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, you on probation now?
I am.
Okay.
I am.
How long you on?
I am. Well, 5 years.
Damn.
Yeah.
For what? Like, what how much did you get caught with?
He's like, damn it.
Some things are best untold.
Trying to
Some
move on
stories
with
are
life.
best untold.
Yeah.
We moving forward. We're moving forward now. It's good.
And then I remember reading that you were disappointed at first because you thought you would book like some bigger things right away after Straight Outta Compton because you
Right.
had such a phenomenal role in that and you did
Yeah,
a great
I-
job acting. But
I
it took
did.
a little time.
Yeah, definitely. Because like the things that were hitting me were like pigeonhole material. You know what I mean?
Come play
like,
another rapper. Come play a gangster.
Exactly, exactly. And I'm like, you know what? I know I got a lot of tattoos and all that, y'all, but look, I'm trying to do something else. You know what I mean? So I went and did like Keanu with Key and Peele. You know what I
think that
mean?
movie
Just
is so funny.
trying to show my layers. You know what I
Tiffany was in
mean?
that. Tiffany Haddish.
Yeah.
Method Man.
Yeah, shout out to Tiffany Haddish. She's doing it real big right now. But yeah, shout out to Jordan Peele too, who's doing absolutely amazing. But yeah.
And Key also, they had that Netflix show that I love.
Yeah.
Friends from college.
Yeah, we thinking about doing some things together too, man. Yeah, dope people.
Now, you are a good crier. Did you learn that in acting school? But now that I know you're from New Orleans, that's probably coming from a real place.
Absolutely. It was just, as guys, we just never do cry. We never let it out. You know what I mean? We don't hug each other. We don't do none of that. So
we don't say we love people.
Exactly. So
I love him.
You don't even know him.
We don't say I love people. That's funny. No, but I think it was just so much that I held in over time, and I never knew it was therapeutic to let it go.
Right.
You know what I mean? You know how you get a whooping and you go to sleep feeling better?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You wake up and you be like, all right, thank you, man. I feel a little bit better, you know?
Yeah. Learn a little something.
Exactly.
Yeah. The hard way, but learn nonetheless.
Exactly.
Yeah, I never
So
felt
it
that
was
way.
it was good for me to sort of just have that experience to be able to let it out, because after I found out that I felt better after I let it out, I just started channeling it.
We've
You know
seen
what I
two
mean?
good cries, the Easy E cry.
Yeah.
What did you think about in that moment? Did you think about really catching AIDS and how you would react to it?
Actually, I did like reverse psychology on my own brain, because like Easy gave, like, he had 7 baby mamas, 9 kids. He gave each of them 20 bands a month, each kid, which is a lot of bread for back then. You know what I mean? So
It's a lot of bread
Like
for
now.
now.
exactly.
So you channel Tyrese. Having to pay child support.
from me? No, don't do that. Don't get me involved. So just by looking at things like that, I was like, he was playing with a lot of money.
Yeah.
So for somebody to come to you and tell you, like, bro, it's over. Like, after you done fixed everything, like, you about to die of a sickness. Like, it's like, wait. What? So I went and got the nicest spot that I could find in Beverly Hills and just stayed there for like a month and just was thinking, like, yeah, this my crib. You know what I mean? Like, that's how I was playing it for myself. So every day when I went home, as we were shooting, I was like, man, I'm about to lose all of this. This is about to be gone. My life, everything is just gone. So it was something I could play off of real smooth.
And what about the shy? Because you cried in that church scene, and I that almost got me. That was the
Man,
second time you
know-
almost got me.
You know what's crazy?
And I always cried during. I was crying, and I'm not ashamed to say I was crying.
Yeah, I'm a cry. I cry. I ain't gonna lie.
And he's a
like,
cry.
I
I've
ain't
seen every
tripping.
cry.
She
as
seen me
well.
cry on a plane watching the movie. She's like, why are you crying? I'm like, oh.
It was Creed.
Now, for me, I think
was
it was one of them things where, like, as soon as you walk into the church, you like, oh man, like, because Ja King, he was somebody who I really got to know and love. You know what I mean? We done spent a few months together. Like, his mama be cooking for us while we on the road, and then you
guy
laying
with
in
your
the
brother.
casket.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like, ooh, it was just hard for me to process. And they had a few funerals I skipped just over time. You know what I mean? Shout out to my dude BTY Youngin. Last year he was killed. And
the rapper.
baby was about to sign him. Yeah, he had just got, the whole thing working out for him, and then he got killed right now with Hood. You know what I mean? So it's just a lot of things that I feel like I didn't really let out, you know what I mean, and process right. So that definitely came from a real
Now,
place.
we
It was
don't-
hard to turn it off that day.
We don't know what's about to happen yet because I've only seen the first 2 episodes. But if
Yeah.
it were up to you, would your character get revenge for your brother getting killed, or?
Probably not, because I've been in situations like that, and I've seen mothers lose 2 sons. You know what I mean? Either both dead or one dead, one in jail. You know what I mean? Like, you don't win when you fight back like that, because
So what
you
do
still
you
gotta
do?
But let's
still
go back
gotta deal
for
with the
people
police.
who don't know. Explain. I know Shy is about Chicago. What is Shy about? What does it deal with? Because a lot of people don't know.
The Shy is the circle of life in Chicago. Like, so many times they dehumanize the fact that these families are losing sons, they're losing daughters, you know what I mean? They're being stripped. And, like, for example, when I first got to Chicago, I saw a sign, like an interactive billboard that said 46 people were shot this weekend. And I'm like, why is this not the talk of Chicago? You know what I mean? Like, why are people not actively trying to get out there and help? But it's because it's it's a misunderstanding and it's like an ignorance. You know what I mean? So this TV show is allowing you to see that the people behind this violence aren't always just wild gangs. You know what I mean?
Reason behind it.
Exactly.
Social conditions.
Right.
Yeah.
It's families. You know what I mean? It's a lot of caring people behind this. And it's also an ecosystem and a domino effect around a murder. You know what I mean? So it's a TV show that shows how this one bullet just changes a bunch of lives.
Wow. Chicago's a very critical place, and they don't like their city portrayed in your kind of way. So who did you reach out to from there to make sure like you was doing it right?
Well,
You know-
Common's a producer on it, right?
Yeah. Common is definitely a producer
And
on
Lena.
it. Lena, they definitely thorough. But me, the way I operate and the way I think about things, I did the same thing when I did Straight Outta Compton. Like, I went to the hood, you know, and I walked around, I met people, I talked to people, just so they know that, because, I mean, you can Google the fact that I'm not from Chicago. You know what I mean? So if they never see me in the streets of Chicago, if I don't do that right, they could be like, of course he's not going to do it right because he's never been back here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But at least if I mess it up, if I go back there and I'm like, look, I'm trying to do my best and they know it. Like, I spent my Easter back there with a random family. You know what I mean? Like, I really...
That could be dangerous, though, right?
I mean, it could be, you know, but you if you give respect, you'll get it.
Did they know you was an actor? Did they recognize you from Straight Outta Compton and all that? Like,
Yeah, they busting out the house. Easy! We like, in the middle of a tape.
So what was they telling you? Like, don't fuck this up. This Chicago, nigga.
Well, I mean, they had a few Chicago projects that missed the mark.
Yeah, the one that Spike Lee did. So that was a terrible movie. Love Spike Lee, but that was a terrible movie.
I ain't saying.
Yeah, you know, so yeah, they just wanted to make sure it hit the mark.
One of my older interns, she's from Chicago, and so when I tweeted out that I love the show,
Yeah.
she was like, "Yeah, we're gonna keep watching." And then she goes, "But that's not how we dress in Chicago on that."
It's the little things like that, those
Yeah,
little
she said
nuances.
that.
Yeah,
you gotta
yeah,
get
really
right.
watch.
Yeah, but
Shout out to
the show
Tempest.
constantly gets better, though. You know what I mean? Because one thing about TV, every episode has a new director. Every episode has a new writer. You know what I mean? So, you know.
It started off pretty strong, though. I mean, I was drawn in
Definitely.
immediately because sometimes pilot episodes
Suck. That was a great pilot, though.
Thank you.
Yeah.
How do you I don't do funerals either though, so I understand how you
Yeah.
feel about that. Like
Yeah,
I
it's
just don't
weak.
go to them.
Yeah, it's like, because it's extra. You know what I mean? Like, it's supposed to be a celebration, but when it's so sad of a situation, it's not.
child?
Yeah, it's not. It's nothing to celebrate in a situation like that. So I'm like, I might meet y'all at the repass. You know, come get some red beans.
You say Wayne grew up around the corner from you. Did y'all have a relationship?
Not in the hood. But my cousin actually used to make beats for him. He did like a couple of beats on the First Carter and stuff like that. So it was one of the few things that kind of like helped me dream big.
Did he get
you know,
paid
'cause- But
for
I
it?
was still thinking rap.
Did
you
he
know?
get paid for those beats?
Yeah. Yeah,
I
he
don't know.
did.
Don't
He
say I don't
did. He
know.
did. He definitely
Okay.
did.
Why not rap though? Because I mean, rap at the time seemed like such an easy way out of the hood for a kid from New Orleans with no limit, with cash money.
Right. Well, I mean, because the thing is, rap is, it's not just music no more. You know what I mean? Especially if you're from the street. If you talk it, you got to live it. And all that come with consequence. You know what I mean? And I'm just trying to turn my back on that whole way of living and just represent something different. Like right now in New Orleans, I don't carry no gun, and I come in peace, and everybody is always happy to see me. I get no hate. If you not rolling with it, you a hater, and you got to take your hater charge. You see what I'm saying? So not too many people in New Orleans won't do that, so they rocking.
But don't you think eventually the hood can swallow you up?
Definitely.
Especially if the more successful you get, like, oh, what you mean? I saw him on the Breakfast Club, so he turning his back on us. What you doing here, nigga?
Yeah, this is true. This is true, but I mean, I still go back and I show love. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
people
I
need
be
to
out
see
there
you when
kissing
you-
babies.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you know, you gotta show love.
I think
you
it's the
kiss
worst when
baby.
you.
No,
What'd you say?
no, I be
Babies,
kissing
not
babies,
babies.
not
Oh,
babies.
I'm sorry.
No,
Yeah, man.
I'm getting old, man.
Me and Stunner don't have that kind of.
I love him.
I mean, you know.
Yeah, but it is important because it's the worst when people are successful, leave, and then never come back and show any love or show any support.
you should come back
And you
to
don't
it.
just go back and hang out, but like you go back and try to do positive things and
Exactly.
show people like, look,
Exactly.
I made it. You know, here's some hope for you. Have something good to do.
Exactly. Because I'm one of those guys who's trying to get the focus just off the 1%. You know what I mean? Because they got another 99% that are the gears of the watch that make this beautiful face, and everybody just see the face and they like, oh, this watch is popping. But if it don't have the gears, then it ain't gonna move.
Right.
You know what I mean? And they have so many things around being a celebrity or being a star, being a rapper, or any of these things, actor, anything, you know, and they have like literally 300 people that work on set with me every day. You know what I mean? It's like 309 of us, I think, to be exact. So like to consider myself any better than somebody else when I don't even know how to do their job, like that's foolish. You know what I mean?
Did they hire a lot of people from Chicago to work?
Yeah.
on the
They
show?
definitely did. They definitely did. And they be the main ones. They like, look, this might not be all at Chicago, but look, don't tell them we told y'all.
Now, I saw Mudbound, and I hate watching stuff like that because it makes me hate white people. Okay. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Okay.
I was like, it totally makes me like I hate white people after watching stuff like that.
Right.
How do you detox from stuff like that?
Man.
Well, tell them about Mudbound for people who haven't seen Mudbound.
It's a slave movie, but it's a period
It's a slave
piece.
movie.
But
No,
Mary
it's
J-
not a slave
But Mary J.
movie.
Blige had on ASOS glasses, which I don't understand.
It's after the war, right?
But we'll bypass that.
Tell us about
But-
Mudbound. What is Mudbound?
I don't want to give it all away, but
No,
little bit about it.
Mudbound is a
It's not a slave movie, is it?
Nah, it's a story of two families in the sharecropping Jim Crow kind of era that's rarely talked about. You know what I mean? Like people forget and they just jump straight from slavery to like civil rights. You know what I mean? And they forget about this time that we had that kind of builds this undercurrent of hate. You know what I mean?
That's
for
so crazy.
blacks and whites. So it's based on that.
it was the Jim Crow era. But in my mind, I'm thinking slave
slave
because every
movie.
time the white man said jump, they said how high.
Exactly. But like I watched my grandfather go through this. You know what I mean? So like that was his story. You know, he went to war. He went to the Korean War, came home, still treated bad. You know, but he turned the other cheek and ended up a business owner. You know what I mean? And ultimately now I get to tell his story on the big screen and be the voice that he always wanted to be at the same time. Because my character don't keep his mouth shut. So.
Well, yes, he did. At the end of the movie, they made him keep his mouth shut. But how do you get that out of you though after playing a role like that?
You know what it is? That's also relief for me too, because I get to do my part nonviolent. You get what I'm saying? Because you watch you watch things like Roots, and then you go outside and you like, man, I just want to hit. You know, you just got to go straight home. That's the truth.
right.
You know what I'm saying? For real. Go home or don't leave for a week. That's the only options you really have. You know, but to me, this film was special because it was like it ends with love, and it talks about a lot of good things, like on the surface. You know what I mean? So like when people leave, they're not ultimately mad at each other. They want to talk about it. Like, wow, black people were really treated like this, and you know they want to talk about this now. And the dialogue getting started is all a product of what I've done. You know what I mean? So I'm super happy about it because all the white people who were in the movie, you know how they must have could see it in my eyes. Because as soon as I was about to have a moment, they just jump in and hug me and be like, man, we love you for this. You're doing something major. You're doing something great for the culture. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. You know, so it was a really, really good support system that I had, man. Everybody showed mad love. Dee Reeves was a great director, the most sure black woman I ever met in my life.
And she booked you just because it's straight out of Compton. She knew
Yeah.
she wanted you for that role.
Yeah, it was a trip. That was the first thing I had ever been offered in my whole life. You know, I'm just sitting on the other side of the phone, like listening to her whole spiel. Like, yeah, as soon as you're done, I'm gonna say yes. You know, because I was so ready to just, you know, be able to show a different layer of myself, and to be able to show that. To me, that's dope. Like, we actually shot in places that I took field trips to as a child.
Wow.
That's lit.
Now, what
So
happened
y'all
on the-
shot in New Orleans.
Yeah, right outside.
That's
I
dope.
love the part when the white guy said to you, you ever slept with a white woman?
Uh,
And you looked at him, you said something about they thought y'all was part monkey. And every
Yeah.
chance you got, y'all showed them y'all wasn't.
yeah, showed them just how human we was.
How proud is your family of you, being that you had kind of issues growing up and seeing how everybody around you was so affected and
Man,
your
my
best
family-
friend getting killed, and then seeing how you've been successful now
Yeah.
and pulled yourself out of being on probation and everything. How
Yeah.
do they feel?
Man, my family's so excited because it came a point where I was like about 24, 25, when my mom was like, so what you gonna do? You know what I mean? You gonna get a real job or like this really gonna pop off?
Are you gonna sit around here and die and go to jail? Die and go to jail. One of the two.
Exactly. You know, so like I think they just wanted the best for me, you know, because the way I was raised is the best way to help somebody else is just to help yourself. So everybody always wanted me to just be able to help myself and stay out of trouble in the process. So, you know, to be able to see this, it's great. Like, I just went back to New Orleans for the first time in like 7 months. I hadn't seen, you know, the whole family. And we got a suite, like, for the Saints game versus Atlanta. Of course, they took that L. And it was nice, man.
Does everybody have their hand out, though? Are they waiting? Cause the money ain't really came in yet.
That's what I keep trying to tell him. You feel me? Like, everybody think I'm rich just because I'm on the tube. And I'm like, I'm working on it. But if I blow all my money on everybody else, I'm going to be broke. You feel me? So, it is what it is.
Now, what happened with Delta, with the Delta Airlines situation?
Yeah, when you threatened to smack the shit out of a Delta employee when all the Holly Grove came out of you.
It's it was a situation that hasn't quite been sealed up yet, so I'm not letting nobody off the hook. But I do feel like
that means he wants a million points, a million flying miles,
or a jet, whatever it was. No, but it was a situation where I just felt like I had to stand up for myself.
So they double booked the seat or something? Overbooked it?
Yeah, amongst other things, but it's something that I don't want to touch on too much, because it's a situation that needs a seal and it don't have that seal yet. You know what I mean? So I'm.
Do you still fly Delta?
What happens?
No, not at all.
Who you fly with now?
United.
Damn.
Which is hilarious.
Which is that the one Jamaica got kicked off of? Which one was we boycotting?
Oh, that was American.
American. All right.
But that United's where they dragged that guy off the plane, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. So it's hilarious. I mean, it wasn't.
You thought that video was hilarious?
No, I'm just saying it's hilarious that I fly United now.
Exactly.
Take a bus everywhere.
No, but it wasn't the most proud day of my life. I wasn't super happy with my comeback, but I definitely felt like I had to stand up for myself.
If they disrespected
my mama was
you,
proud. So
F that. If they disrespect you disrespect them back.
Now,
Rolling Stone called you this generation's next leading man.
What? Where you reading this from?
Rolling Stone.
I ain't making that shit up. Serious?
Yes.
What?
Is that too much pressure?
It's really not, man. It's an honor, bro. It's an honor, seriously. Because you sit back and you watch movies at home and you try to convince yourself all of these different things. You know what I mean? Like who you are inside yourself and all that. And when you finally get to start showing yourself to the world, when they respond in an even bigger way than you thought they would, I can't ask for nothing more. Like if I could have wrote my story, it would not be this good. It probably would have worked its way up to something like a Straight Outta Compton or a Mudbound. You know what I mean? But like God just got his hands on me and I just keep excelling. You know what I mean? I'm getting good stuff. Like me and Lena, we literally held hands and was like, we're going to speak this into existence 2 years ago.
Really?
And now I'm the lead of her TV show. Like that's crazy.
So she came to you about the idea for the show a couple years ago?
No. We just happened to see each other like in passing and I was like, yo, because her clothes game is always crazy. Her shoe game always crazy. So I'm like, man, let me take a picture with you. And she was like, yo, I'm a big fan. And we gonna work together one day. And I was like, well, shit, let's speak it into existence, because I operate off the spirit. You know what I mean?
I love that kind of shit. I love it.
So we did. We held hands right there and was like, we gonna speak this into existence. You know what I mean? And
I know you
not even 2 years later.
Tons of scripts coming in now.
Yeah, man. It's
Do you know what you want to do? Like what kind of role you're looking for next?
Or what won't you do?
Ooh.
Yeah, is there any role that you wouldn't play?
I don't think so. I don't think so. I really, because I be like in a challenge myself. I want something crazy like Floyd Mayweather or like somebody with one leg or something. You know what I mean?
Man, you do a gay kiss and see Brokeback Mountain, something like that.
Don't follow this up. Don't do
It's
this. I don't know why Envy likes to do this.
Right. You know what? I really don't discriminate against no role. Though.
So you do any scene? Huh? That's dope.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I would.
Why would you want to play Floyd Mayweather though?
Because it's just like naturally he challenges himself more than the average person. Like I had the pleasure of meeting him, and then right after I met him, he went running. But I'm like, dude, it's about to be 1 o'clock in the morning.
He does that.
You know what I mean?
Says that.
He does
just
that.
goes running on the highway at like 4 in
But
the
to
morning.
play Floyd, you would have to learn how to not read lines, not be able to read lines. So
Don't follow his. Don't
how
follow
would
his
that work?
Floyd, don't hit him.
No, Floyd, please hit me if you ever feel like it. Please, please.
He's like, I need that bankroll. No, but yeah, it's just to me, it's like when you deal with somebody who has a different type of work ethic and their brain operates on a different wave than yours. That's the fire. You know what I mean? That's when you. Yeah. I love that too. I love that. I love the whole process of it. You know what I mean? Because when you get tired in boxing, you get hurt. It's not like one of them sports where you can put your hands on your hips.
Fact.
And you know what I mean? So I respect boxers. And
Absolutely.
to have that, to have somebody have the confidence in me to be able to pull that off, like that would be super dope. I would love that.
When it comes to the TV and film world, there used to be a time where actors in films used to look down on TV. But it seems like now everybody's doing a little bit of both.
Right, because pirating became a real situation.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Nigga will bootleg your movie ASAP, you know? So,
And there's all these outlets too, like Netflix, Hulu, Amazon.
Exactly.
There's just so much opportunity there.
Exactly. Like Netflix picked up our film and it's doing good, you know, because the ultimate goal for an artist is to have your music or your movies or whatever put out the way you want it to be put out. You know what I mean? Like you want people to be able to see it in quality. Don't bootleg it and then half of the movie don't show right. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like or the sound is all messed up, you know? You want it to really be right. So Netflix is a blessing because like they're gonna keep our movie alive forever. You can put it on repeat every day. You know what I mean? You could cry inside the privacy of your own home. You know, which is really, really dope.
And all those problems within Hollywood too. And it's kind of like you have to create your own opportunities because obviously in Hollywood there's a whole system that's not really in place for us.
Right, exactly. And I think it's becoming a thing like, you know, like Straight Outta Compton was the start to this sort of snowball effect, you know what I mean? That changing things in film.
And Empire, Empire to me was it for TV.
Exactly. You know, so it becomes a thing where I think as a young black man, I'm not looking for nobody else help. You know what I mean? Like when I look at Lena, I'm like, you starting a cultural motion. You know what I mean? Like you passing the torch on some whole different ish. Like you going up. You know what I mean? Like you don't need nobody to help you write nothing. You don't need nobody to help you learn nothing. We fought for rights. You know what I mean? We fought for equal opportunity and all that. And true enough, it might not be set up for us to win, but I mean, we got a lot of talent. We got a lot of talent. You know what I mean? So excuses ain't
Is there a
really the
Floyd
way.
script happening?
You know, I don't know yet. I keep talking to Floyd, and he be like, "Man, why you trying to make me dead already?" You know what I mean? Like, so I might gotta wait a couple years, you know. But they do have a couple things that I'm writing, a couple things in the mix. We're trying to get a Larry Davis project off the ground, which would be near and dear to New York. You know, a couple of different things, man. I'm working.
Why wouldn't you do a VH1 movie? Because you said when they told you about Straight Outta Compton, you was like, what is this, VH1?
Well,
BET?
it's not that I wouldn't do a VH1 movie. It's just that I feel like a movie like that, you gotta come correct. You know what I mean? The budget gotta be correct. Like these dudes made history on a whole different level. Right. He went all the way to the White House. You know what I mean? Like you really have to do this movie right. So, you know.
What do you think of the Pac movie? Did you see it?
I have not.
Me neither.
So sorry, Benny. Don't judge me. I was busy. Don't. I'm sorry. No, but Benny's a good friend of mine. You know what I mean? Demetrius, you know, he did his thing. You know, and I've yet to see the movie.
Right. Do you have any interest in doing anything outside of these heavy roles?
Absolutely, man. I probably need like a chick flick or something next just to push my restart button.
Piano
you know what I mean?
cartoon.
Exactly. You know what I mean? I need something to really be able to laugh off because the movies I love are like the movies that I grew up on, like your Beverly Hills Cop. You know what I mean? Where you get something out of it and it's funny and it's action, but the bullets are like still real. You know what I mean? Like I want to be in movies like that.
Funny thing about those movies, I didn't realize that a lot of the stuff Eddie did back in the day weren't comedies.
Exactly.
Like Beverly Hills Cop was actually written for Sylvester Stallone. It was supposed to be a drama.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And it's all about what you bring to it. You know what I mean? So I think I have enough, you know, in my little acting database to be able to snatch something nasty out the bag. You know what I mean? If I get something like that. So it'll be cool. Hopefully I can get in one of these Bad Boys movies too before it's all said and done with. Just
Put
because.
it out there. Put it
yeah,
out there.
They
yeah,
bringing
I'm
those
trying.
back?
Yeah, I think they got
They've
a
been saying
deal.
that for a couple years now.
Yeah, I think they got a deal. I think they just, you know, working on the whole situation on how they want to do it, you know. Will and Martin, they work so much, so.
Well, we appreciate you for joining us.
My man,
Man,
Jason
thank you for
Mitchell,
having
man.
me,
Jason
man.
gonna be
Check the shop.
around. I think Jason gonna be like one of those Denzel guy, like somebody we'll see at the Oscars in a few years. Like, damn, look at Jason winning.
I
an
hope
Oscar.
so, man. And you love him. We just remember that. You love
He's
him.
dope, man. I like people that create great content. Like he's dope at what he does. Like you can watch him on screen, you could tell he's special.
Listen, I almost passed out when you tweeted. I was like, all right. And then he really was like, hit my business manager, follow him, we'll set it up.
Straight up.
I appreciate it. That was very real.
Man, thank you. Thank you.
I know it's a busy time for you with the Shy just starting on Showtime and everything. So.
Thank you. Well, this was big for me. You know, this was next level in my life.
Hey man, if you get some new pussy off it, just text me and let me know.
Oh, I definitely will.
No doubt.
Yeah,
no doubt.
yeah, I got you.
My man.
My brother. Jason Mitchell. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.